Backyard.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Twin Cities Comedy Festival. I'm Dave Rand McKay. I'm the artistic director of Fearless Comedy Productions, who's putting on this whole thing. Thanks, everyone, for coming. We got some things to share with you about, well, Fearless Comedy Productions. We hope that maybe you'll be inspired to see other productions that we have. Tuesday, for example, we have our double feature monthly show, which is actually at Strike Theater. But then we have Double Blind Improv, and the double feature is Double Blind with Blackout Improv, which is a local group of all African-American improv artists. That is once a month that we have that show.
That's on May 7th. It's the next show at Strike Theater at 7 p.m. And we also are, how many people go to Fringe? Woo! Fringe! Yes, so Fearless Comedy Productions, we are also putting on a show in the Fringe Festival this year, written by one of our own company members, Tim Wick. It is called A Murder on the Great Grimpen-Meyer Express, which is a mashup of Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie. So if you like comedy and you like mysteries, then you will really enjoy the show. Speaking of mysteries.
Oh yeah, we have yet another murder mystery. We do an annual show with the park system, and it's always something different. And this year, murder mystery, the
Saga of Catfish McGee.
Saga of Catfish McGee. If you like murder mysteries, we got a bunch going on.
But it's a family-friendly murder mystery.
It is, oh yeah. There's not actual murder happening in it. It's implied murder.
But you get to learn more about the Mississippi park system as well. So it's educational, murder fun.
And well, the last thing I'd like to mention is Fearless Comedy Productions. We're a nonprofit, and although we do make some money from ticket sales, we make most of our money from donations. So if you're feeling charitable, we do have some boxes in back with cash. You could drop some spare cash in, or you could go to fearlesscomedy.org and donate a couple of bucks. And we also have the QR code back there if you want to just pick up your phone and, well, send us a little bit of money. It would be greatly appreciated.
And we can continue putting on more comedy in the future and for many more comedy festivals for years to come.
But you're all here for, well, I should introduce next wonderful, wonderful show, All of the Things. Come on out.
Thank you all for coming. It's really special to see community come out and support. Also, this is really weird. There's so much empty space at the front. Please fill it up if you want.
Yeah, can you guys like mosh right here? Just like that right there. Well, thanks so much for coming to Fearless Comedy Festival. My name is Kalamaru-Mava, and this is Ameera. Thanks for coming to our special. Are you having a good comedy festival so far?
I only know that Hua was here for more than one. I don't know if any of y'all have been sticking around for more than just this session, but yeah, thanks to Dave and thanks to all of the folks organizing. I think Melissa's the one up in the booth up there, so yeah, thank you for running the tech.
Yeah, has anybody else gone to see any of the other shows? Are you here just for us?
It's just Hua.
Just Hua?
That's just because I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Oh, you don't gotta go home, but you can keep staying here, I guess. That's right.
You're gonna come back tomorrow. Who was just, I slept in a wheelchair in the green room.
It's a cozy green room. I can see it. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming out. We're gonna talk a little bit, do some comedy for you all, and then we'll chat. So we're gonna have some time for a Q&A. So if anything comes up during your set, pretty rare you get to talk to the comedians after. It's like, what the hell did you mean by that? You'll have the opportunity to do that with us after the show. Do anything fun lately? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
Yes.
Stressing my ass out about this.
Yeah. You feeling ready?
Am I? Yeah, I am. Is Arden here, by the way? No. Okay, great. He's a guy I've been like texting, and we're supposed to have our first date on Tuesday. So I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be a good first impression of here. So okay, I can be a little lax.
Okay, that would be an interesting first pre-date experience. I got back from a wedding. I went to Texas just for the night. Saw, surprisingly just one Trump flag in Texas, but unfortunately it was at my cousin's house, so that extra sucked. But I know. Immigrant Trumpers, you love them. The real jokes come from real life. I'm serious. I went to see my secret boyfriends. My secret boyfriend's my husband. I put them on my phone, and my kids think it's so gross. But it's like, hey, you gotta keep it. We've been together for like 20 years. It's like, oh, that's cute.
And then, if you share your husband's contact with me, then he'll be my secret boyfriend.
Yeah. I went to their show a couple weeks ago, and I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm pretty sure, I hope we can still be friends, that I'm like a terrible garbage person, because I was at the show, and there was somebody like towards the back, and they were an older person, not like being ageist, they were just an older person, and they were like clearly completely ill, and they had like a blanket on, and they were just going and just like had not mask, not anything, and they were just like super, super ill, but they were at the show. And like 5-10 years ago, if I would have seen that, I would have been like, oh my God, are you okay? Can I get you some tea? Can I get you some water? But the first thought that crossed my mind was like, oh God, I hope that bitch ain't contagious. And I just feel like COVID has turned us all into like, so what does that mean? It's like, I hope she doesn't have COVID. I hope she has cancer instead. That's like terrible. And I'm like, COVID has made us all like a little bit, I didn't do that. Eventually I did get them some water, but the first thought was like, we're a little bit paranoid. Like I still mask on a plane. Do you still mask? Are you still masking? What's the vibe now? We've got some masks in the crowd. Yeah.
I'm mostly femme, I'd say.
Oh, okay. So anyway, you'll find out more about how I'm a terrible garbage person later.
I feel like all of us have like the little garbage person inside of us,
I
right?
think so too.
It's like your first instinct because we're all taught.
Yeah, I try to do the good things, like I donate blood, I work in a nonprofit, I'm like trying to do the good things, but there's that little person in me that's like kind of a dick, and like just like, yeah. So anyway,
All right.
should we get to it?
Let's go. Give it up for Jamie. Jamie Kalamaru-Mava. Just start us off.
I feel like I'm doing it again. Like, let's just do that over. Let's start again. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. My name is Jamie Kalamaru-Mava. That actually means artist mother in Sinhala. At least I'm 90% sure that's what it means. My cousins helped me with that translation, and there's a slight possibility it might actually mean spoiled brat. So, yeah, Jamie Kalamaru-Mava. A little bit about myself. So I'm bi. I've known that for a while, but I very recently came out to my dad, and it didn't go as bad as I thought it would. That might be because he passed away last year. So actually it ended up being a lot less stressful. I think that's just how we should always do it, right? Like just wait as long as you can, light some candles, call upon your ancestors, and just be like, I'm gay. So much less trauma, so much easier. Yeah, it was so easy. I started coming out to my dad about everything. Like, remember the time I told you I went to youth group with my friends? We just went to go smoke at the park. Sorry, Dad. Normally, he would have been like, I'm not going to take this line down. It's like, well, you have to, so. No, speaking of my dad, I love my dad. I actually just finished writing a children's book. I wrote an illustrated children's book that's about his story. It was way harder than I thought. I read 2 regular books. I thought a children's book, oh my God, that'll be easy. And what I struggled the most with was the characters. Like I wanted to make these little people look like us, right? So I changed the shape of their bowl haircut, I changed their tone. Turns out I just needed to give them all big noses, and then immediately they look just like our family. So it's like, oh my god, that little bitch looks like me now. So I started drawing noses on everything. It's like, oh look, it's a meat apple. I used to be really insecure about it when I was little, and I think that's because my cousins were a bunch of assholes, and they used to tease me about it all the time. Like I had this one cousin, and he'd be like, ape nose, gorilla snout, and he would do it and I was crying, and he'd be like, I'm just kidding, baby, you know I think you're beautiful. I'm like, actually, that wasn't my takeaway message from that little interaction. He's like, don't worry, you'll grow into it. Like, that's not how noses work. Noses aren't the puppy paws of childhood. They're like, more like face could do. They just keep growing as you get older. It's fine. Yeah, so I thought, you know, as you get older, you kind of grow out your insecurities for the most part. One thing is weird is I thought I would grow out of more of my fears. Not so much. I'm still scared of some of the same stuff I was scared of when I was a kid, like the dark. Anybody else here still scared of the dark?
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. The dark is scary. I'm a grown woman, I have 2 kids, and somehow I'm still scared of the dark. If I'm the last person in my house to go to sleep, I will hit the lights and run upstairs like the devil's chasing me. Oh my gosh. My kids don't trust me. They're like, Mom, can you check the closet? I'm scared. There's a monster there. I'm like, I'm not gonna go in your closet. It's dark in there. I'm gonna stay with you in the light. Oh, yeah. But you gotta like put on a good game face as a mom, right? You gotta mom up. So, spiders, I no longer scream when I see a spider. And that, my friends, that's big progress. That's big progress. Woo! Yeah, thank you. My kids though, they see a spider, they lose their minds. Like, oh my god, it's a spider! So I'm gonna put on my mom face. I'm like, oh, don't worry, it's just a little spider. Let's get a cup and we'll put this guy outside. Grab the spider. Meanwhile, internally, I'm screaming, spider in a cup, spider in a cup, spider in a cup, spider in a cup. Set it outside. And it sticks with me. Like, even later that night in bed, I'm like, there was that spider. Oh, I'm thinking about it, I'm having dreams about the spider. Like, the spider's gonna come back and get me or something. Like, the spider was in the cup taking notes, like, 5-1, big nose, scared of the dark. Kids have a way of testing your resilience, I think, like both physically, emotionally. Like, it starts off even just like when you're pregnant, right? They're like jumping on your pelvic floor like it's a trampoline for 9 months, and eventually they burst through. Like, oh, I guess that's broken now. I went to a doctor for like my post-baby recovery, and you know those people that are like just obnoxiously positive, right? She's like, oh my god, you're doing so great. You've got so many options. And I'm like, look, lady, I don't need jazz hands. What I need is to not pee when I get excited, like I'm a 6-week-old puppy. My coworkers think it's weird if I bring a puppy pad to work and I don't also bring a dog to go with it. Would you bring your dog to JJB? It's like, no, that's for if I sneeze. Oh, no. So she, I mean, you've ever heard of a parapet?
No.
So they prescribed me, or they had me set up with a parapet, which is basically, okay, before I do this bit, I just need you to know, we use body positive language at home. We're a very body positive household. So we use words like vagina and vulva and hoo-ha. So what the parapet is, it's a vagina joystick. So you take the vagina joystick, it's got sensors on it, you put it up in your hoo-ha, and it senses when your pelvic floor is contracting, right? And then you hook it up with this app, and you get to play video games with your pelvic floor muscles. And the games you play with this thing are so freaking ridiculous. So, the first game, your pelvic floor is a dolphin. And you're swimming through the ocean. and you relax your pelvic floor, and you eat up all the little fish that are in the ocean. Gobble, 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 gobble. Nom, nom, nom. Vagina fish, subtle. And then you contract your pelvic floor muscles so that you don't also swallow the bombs, missiles, and explosive devices that also happen to be floating in the ocean. The other game, your pelvic floor, is a firefighter pilot. And you relax your pelvic floor muscles, the pilot flies the plane down and gets water from the ocean to go up. You contract your pelvic floor muscles, you fly the plane up the mountain, and you put out mountain fires with your vagina water. And it's like, okay, first thing, what's up with all the water games? Little triggered? I'm pretty sure the unintended leaking of fluids is how we got into the problem in the first place. Also, I think we need to step up the quality of these games. Could we please? Could we like partner with one of the better game consoles? Like, some people have a Nintendo Switch, I just need an X for my box. I also think it would be much improved with some haptic feedback. Thank you. I think that would be a very strong motivating factor, don't you? Oh, yeah. And I'm getting real strong. I'm so strong. I just want to battle Bowser with my pelvic floor. I will take him down. I don't even need a cheat code. Be like, up, down, down, left, right, and be just like start, get out of my hoo-ha. Oh. A friend of mine invited me camping, and first of all, I think it's silly to trick people into Jesus camp. You gotta let them know in advance. We get there, tents are set up for us, very nice. There's a Bible in my tent. It's like, who pitched this tent? The Gideon family? This is ridiculous. Also, do you think bugs, when they see people outside, the bugs are like, ew, get that thing back inside. There's a spider on the tree. Spider's like, give me a really big cup. No, I need a bigger cup. This one's got a really big nose on it. No, okay, so we're at this camp, and she's like, oh no, don't be worried, it'll be fine, it's gonna be really nice. After the hike, we're gonna do a Bible study, and I'm like, a Bible study? Oh my God. Aren't we outdoors? Isn't God everywhere? Do we really need to bring the book of Leviticus into this? You know who would never trick me into religious camp? My Muslim friends. They would never trick me like that. Ameera would never, thank you. Ameera would never invite me to her house for lunch. I get there and she's like, haha, it's Ramadan, bitch. Here's a prayer that the Quran. Go home hungry. Speaking of weird religious overreach, I have to talk to you about something. So I saw this car, and it had a bumper sticker, and the bumper sticker said, premarital sex puts you on the used car lot. Right? Can I get a hand from all the virgins in the audience? That's right, most of you are car sluts. Most of you are car sluts. Premarital sex puts you on the used car lot. I'm sorry, I guess I don't. I got some follow-up questions for this stupid bumper sticker. First of all, what does a car hymen look like? Can somebody please tell me what a car hymen would look like? Second of all, is this like a hard and fast rule for this person? Do they need a car? They go to the car dealership, and they're like, oh, do you want to go for a test drive? And they're like, no, not until I sign the ownership paperwork first. I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna make a major purchase, I would like to see that thing has been road tested, preferably on me. Somebody else is fine, that's fine. I mean, how do I know the car even likes driving, right? Oh, yeah, I mean, what if when I'm done with the car, I wanna let somebody else drive the car? Maybe while I watch, I don't know. I don't know if I can get back up with this, sorry. Ameera wanted to dress up, so we got pretty, but now I'm like, can I get back on the stage? Watch. Yeah, my family, we're all a bunch of car sluts. We get a family discount on AAA. Like, I mean, I know how to change my own tire, but it just feels better to let somebody else do it, right? If cars have hymens, so according to this person, the rental car industry is like basically just legalized car prostitution, right? Like you go up and it's like, yeah, I need to rent a car for the weekend. Oh, you don't have a car? Oh, that was at home. I just don't want to put the miles on it. Don't tell my car, she'll get jealous. If cars have hymens, do cars also have to come out to their parents if they're gay? Like bashful cars, like, Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. I'm hybrid. The mom car freaks out. She's like, I don't know how this happened. We put them on a private car lot. You know they get this from your side of the family. My family takes diesel. Like, God, Mom. It's not like I said it was a Tesla. There's no gay car agenda. There is a queer roadmap, though. Step one, you gotta ban catalytic conversion therapy. Thank you, everybody. That's my time. You've been a great audience. This has been a true religious driving experience. Thank you very much. Next up, we have the awesome Ameera Sultana Khan, everybody.
Welcome. Thank you for coming out.
Hi.
Spending $15 to watch me and her just kick the shit around, but yeah, thanks. If you don't know me, my name is Ameera Sultana Khan. If you want to remember that, you can just think of walking in the bathroom and look in a mirror. I'm a royal flush to begin with. And it's not just because my name Ameera literally means princess in Arabic. It's because I've been every single letter of LGBT and Q. Right? I've been a lesbian, I've been a gay man, I've been a bisexual, transsexual. All at different points in my life. So, truly a royal flush here. And I'm queer because fuck Israel. I don't know if any of you heard the previous performer. He was just like, yeah, I don't have a side. I'm like, no. I'm going to speak out against this before the Senate says we can't speak out against this. Fucking genocide, right? If you want to support killing babies, the exit is over there and the NRA office is across the highway. My wife Julia, she's also queer. It was our 3rd anniversary recently. I took her out for lunch and then she got to be dinner. She's very happy in our marriage and we're polyamorous. So we date outside of our marriage as well. It shows you my decision-making skills, right? I'm married to the love of my life and I still choose to date men. So I'm on one of these dating apps, right? Swiping right on every single profile because I have no standards. And I match with this guy named Kevin, right? And I'm showing Julia his bio. I'm like, oh, look at him, he's a dad. He's a therapist, he must be so in touch with his emotions. Julia's just like, of course you love him, dear. He has a pulse. So Kevin and I get to talking, and he invites me over to his house. We have some dates, right? I get to meet his kids. The 5-year-old loves Pokemon, so we end up bonding over that. And I'm like, okay, buddy, I got you. I'll bring my Pokemon cards over next time. So I come over next time, and he just beelines straight for me. He's like, hey, where's the Pokemon cards? He's jumping up and down. He's very excited. And he's so excited, in fact, that his hands, while they're all up in the air and he's jumping, he runs straight into me and his hands land on my tits. And I'm like a deer in the headlights at this point, right? I'm like, I'm a Minnesotan girl now. I've been for 3 years. So out of the fight, flight, or freeze reactions, I freeze. Okay? So I'm frozen, and the kid is Minnesotan too, so he's frozen, and so we're both just looking at each other like, somebody make a move. And some primal ancestral instinct from God knows where takes over this kid. And while his hands are just like, where did they land? Groping me, he just goes, and this hurts, right? I'm like, these are sensitive parts. So I'm like bending over and like, please get off of me, right? And he's just, his grip is so strong, he's just hanging there. He's like using me as monkey bars. And so now I'm just trying to like shimmy and get him off and shake him off, and he's just moving around like. Like he's fucking Spider-Man, lifting himself up by my bootstraps, doing pull-ups in his pull-ups. He's fine, he should be out of diapers by now. Eventually, Dad comes over and is like, hey kiddo, we don't do that, it's rude to touch strangers' chests. And he's like, oh, okay. And he runs off and he plays with his siblings, right? And the rest of the day goes fine. We're all happy. I'm like, okay, gentle parenting. Just teach him how to be gentle with my boobs next time. Green flag number 2. It's later in the week now, and I'm texting Kevin like, hey, let's hang out again. And he's just leaving me on red. What's happening now, right? 10 days later, he texts me saying, hey, I felt really uncomfortable when my kid was touching your chest, and some boundaries were crossed. So I don't want to date anymore. Okay, let me get this straight, dude. Your shit-ass kid groped me, and your boundaries were crossed. Oh, this is because I'm trans, isn't it, right? This fucking reverse blaming happens to trans people everywhere. He's probably thinking, oh, she's a trans woman, so she must be a groomer. He's gonna give my kid sexual trauma. Which is funny, because he still takes them to church. Stereotyping me as a groomer? I'm probably good for his family, right? This kid is like, oh, trans women don't belong in sports. No, your kid is practicing to be the next American Ninja Warrior on my tits. Okay? Trans women are breaking up the family structure. I'm giving your son Pokemon cards and seasoned food. 2 things you do not provide him. So now I'm just pissed. And I'm sad, and I go over to Julia, and I'm crying, like, Julia, comfort me. It's so hard dating when you're married. Once I'm done crying, I'm just sad for the kid. I'm just like, he's gonna grow up with all of this trauma from, mostly because Kevin's their fucking dad. But then also, they're gonna grow up thinking like transgender women aren't worth dating. They're gonna become adults without getting to see my Pokemon card collection? And all because my tits were so big, they crossed his boundaries. I'm the adult here, right? So I have the responsibility to make sure this kid doesn't have any of this childhood trauma growing up. So I take the initiative and I schedule a date with the kid. No, I didn't, you freaks! Y'all are falling into the same trap. Your stereotypes are making this weird. Don't listen to the stereotypes, don't make it weird. Okay, but what's actually the problem with stereotypes, right? So, there's this famous quote that I heard in a TED Talk once. Not a TikTok for any children in the audience. And the quote goes, a single story creates stereotypes. And the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story. This quote is from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I assume she's from Idaho. But this quote, it really got me thinking, and it was putting stereotypes into perspective, right? I used to think all stereotypes are bad, But then I grew up between an Asian household and a public school with white classmates, and the stereotypes they told me about Asians, I saw them in my family, right? They're like, why do all the Asians work in computer science? I'm like, I don't know, I'm 12. Maybe I'll ask my dad and all his Asian IT friends. The entire Muslim community shares like 2 Costco cards. Wait, you guys don't do that? It's so much cheaper that way. So I like saw the truth of these stereotypes, and I was like, well, what's so wrong with telling the truth? Right? Who cares if it offends people if it's true? Maybe like a little bit of racism is okay. Maybe like don't call me terrorist because I'm Muslim, but you can say that I can't parallel park. Right? That's true. Muslims can't parallel park to save their lives. Like, you gotta be tasteful with your racism, you know? This is why I call myself an intersectional stereotype. Right? Yeah. I work in IT, and I'm Asian, and people get confused when I don't sound like, hello, this is IT tech support, how may I help you? They get confused. They're like, your accent is so good. I'm like, I was born in Kansas City. And even though now I'm living hundreds of miles away from any of my family, I'm still borrowing my Indian friend's Costco card. I'm going to Costco. I'm buying all of the rice in bulk. That's gonna last me for 4 months. And then I give the Costco card to the next friend who needs it. I left my family back in St. Louis, but the Asian, they never left me. And then I'm queer, right? Queer people, we have so many stereotypes. Like, first of all, I sit like a bisexual. Right? Like, no straight person sits like this. On any chick, right? I'm also a trans girl, and you know, like, half of us, we work in IT, right? I love the binary too much, we couldn't leave it binary. That was so stupid. It's like stereotypes about trans people being groomers, right? These are bad, these are untrue, they are spread by lies. Stereotypes about trans people knowing how to code, it's fine, it's like accurate, right? It's pretty tasteful, I'd say. And then there are like stereotypes about trans people like liking anime, being cat girls, like, I don't know, I don't have the data for that, you know, but I can be tasteful, I can lean into this shit, right? Somewhere in this fucking time. Here we go. Yeah. Like, it's not that bad, is it, right? Trans people, we fucking love looking like this. I feel cute in these, y'all. With a little jingle jingle, right? The next man I date, he's gonna be all over me. He's gonna be all over me when I put these babies on. Julia's too busy to hit me from the back. She's recovering from being dinner. But the next man, my next potential boyfriend, doesn't matter that I can't get pregnant. He will fucking try to get me pregnant. Speaking of hitting it from the back, I need to know, like, how are straight men transphobic? I don't get it, right? We're men created by the male gaze. I used to be a man. I saw what I liked in women, and then I became that woman. We are tailor-made for straight men. And then there are people smarter than me who are like, trans women have always been women, even before they knew they were women. So they were never actually a man. I was like, okay, in that case, I guess they're just self-made men, or women. Self-made women, and there's no male gaze involved. But I kind of like being an ex-boy, a girl boy. I like being a girl boy-all, so I can call myself an ex-man. I grew up in the 90s. I love that shit. What would my X-Men superpower be? I don't know. I think I'd like to hypnotize people, like with my laugh. Just infinite charisma, you know? Just play the bard in D&D, and that's it. Imagine I'm like a transgender girl boss anime villain, right? I'm working for the non-binary mafia billionaires of Gotham City. And that straight boy Wolverine falls right into my gay agenda trap. And then I hypnotize him with my anime villain laugh, like, yeah, that'll get him on his knees for sure. No, I'd probably just use my laugh to get myself into the Oval Office. Most trans women, they do voice training to sound more feminine, but I guess I'm not like other girls. I want to sound like the love child of Doflamingo from One Piece and Jeff Bezos. I want to practice the mindset of being a rich, evil man. Because your mindset brings manifestation. Why would I practice sounding like a woman just so men could stop taking me seriously? Like, I already have 4 marginalized identities, y'all. Like, let me sound like a man. Everyone's been asking lately, would you rather leave your kid with a man or with a bear? Oh, the discord around this is so juicy. Discourse, not discord. And I'm like, obviously the bear. And they're like, no, not a grizzly bear. Or, no, a grizzly bear, not a glizzy bear. I'm tongue-tying myself, y'all. No, for me, it probably depends on the man, right? Like, Kevin, absolutely not. Get out of here immediately. Don't trust him around his own kids. All right? But my grandpa, like, he's great. You know, he'd give the kids a snack bag, he'd give the bear a snack bag, say, you know, have a good night. They'd be repeat customers. I love my grandpa. I call him Nanapai, and like most people born in pre-partition India, there are no hospital records of his birth. So his official birthday on his US passport was January 1st, 1945. So all the white people would see it and go, oh, how cute, a New Year's baby. And all the Asian people would go and see it, oh, how fun, a war refugee. He's the first person in my entire extended family who like accepted me as a trans woman. Yeah, give it up for that, because younger people that are accepting, no, my grandpa beat my mother to it, and my sisters. So, and then when I told him I was getting married to Julia, another transgender woman, he got super excited, and he like promised me he'd join the wedding. My own mother didn't come to our wedding. When I first came out to him as transgender, his response was so beautiful, y'all. He said, God has created this vast universe full of wondrous, mysterious things. If I claimed to know all of the mysteries of creation, then I would be foolish and arrogant. If I believe in the existence of the day and the night, why would I not believe in the existence of sunset? If I believe in the land and the sea, why would I not believe in the shoreline? Profound shit, right? I think that's what he said. It wasn't in English. He only spoke very, very like little bit of English, and it was very antiquated and broken stuff, right? It's like 1950s British colonial English that then the British left, but the English stayed the same. So I showed him a picture once of a classmate that I was definitely not crushing on. And in this like bastardization English that he was taught, he was like, oh, your friend, he is Mongoloid. I was like, Grandpa, you can't use that word anymore. He's Chinese. He's like, oh, Chinese, so he's very good at math. It's like, Grandpa, not all Chinese people are good at math. Okay, but this friend actually did major in math, and it was like kind of on his graduation camp, so Grandpa won this time. He had that tasteful racism stereotype. I'll let him go with that one. His English wasn't great, so I mostly spoke to him in Bangla, and that's how I actually know how to speak Bangla today. So I credit him with that. I'm about as fluent as a third grader, and I found this out when I went to India the past December with my wife. You know, I went there to find myself, as everyone does. And then my phone died. And I was asking around in Bangla, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, my phone died, can I charge it, right? And I'm asking around in Bangla, and everyone's just laughing at me, and I'm like, my Bangla's not that good, I know, I'm trying here. Eventually, someone who spoke English came up to me and explained that what I actually said was, sorry, my phone's soul has passed away from this mortal realm. And I need to resurrect it from the grave. I do actually love learning languages, right? So like, my wife is very impressed because I have some basic skills in, you know, Spanish, Arabic, Chinese, words of affirmation, Python, physical touch. But Bangla is special, right? So Bangla is what my ancestors spoke, and it's what the community of Bengalis speak, right? So Bangla is the language, Bengali is the ethnicity. You learned something new tonight. And as I've grown my community of queer and ally Bengalis in this country and all across the world, like, this language is something special that unites us. And my wife sees this, and she really, like, understands this well. So she's actually taking Bangla classes right now. Give it up for my wife. She's doing pretty good for a white girl. My Bengali friends are also proud of her. They gave her the status of honorary Bengali auntie. So if you want to learn Bangla from the whitest Bengali I've ever seen, she's right there. You can go talk with her afterwards during the mingling. I like mingling with cool folks like y'all, right? You give me energy, right? I get to be the star, the center of attention. I'm like, you love me, you really do. God, that's different from being in a crowd, right? Because that's where I stick out like a sore thumb because I'm brown, I'm transgender, I have big fucking hair, you know? You know, one crowd I feel really weird about is the Minnesota State Fair. I moved here 3 years ago, right? And I've never understood fairs or carnivals, right? Maybe I'm too Asian and cheap to pay for the experiences there. I'm like, $5 for a 2-minute Ferris wheel ride? I'll leave that to the white people, thank you very much. But I moved here and everyone was constantly like, you have to go to the state fair, it's the best thing we have here. That in the Mall of America. I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot, jeez. Now my wife thinks heights are for young people who think they're invincible and they're never gonna die. People like me. So it took all the courage that she had to join me on that tiny ass ski lift that goes across the fairgrounds like 10 feet off the ground. And she was so exhausted by the end, she was like, oh my God, Ameera, how long have we been here? I need to sit down, I need a break. And I was like, my love, my dear, we have been here for 10 minutes. She did not like that. So I found her a table where she could eat her McDonald's anxiety meal in peace. And I just hung around waiting, right? But honestly, that chilling and just standing around people watching was the best part of the state fair, hands down. That's the highlight. You see all sorts of people if you're like careful and you look closely enough, right? You see the rednecks coming in from out of town, You see the high schoolers who snuck out here without their parents' permission. You see the Greater Minnesota Coalition of Goths. You see everyone. The only problem with people watching is eventually you start becoming self-conscious. And you're like, oh my God, how do I look? Do I look creepy to these people? Am I just a weirdo with big ass hair, just Asian squatting in a shaded corner, staring out at everyone? With my big ass eyes like, my precious. I wanna make sure I look fucking normal, okay? So I search around for a bathroom so that I can look inside to go look at Ameera. And what I end up finding is one of these crazy, like, funhouse mirrors, right? Like a carnival mirror. That's what I find, the ones that make you look like super short and fat, or skinny like an AI-generated toothpick with hands. And I see my reflection in it. And like a good Minnesotan, I freeze. Minnesotan at the fucking Minnesotan State Fair. Of course I'm frozen, right? And these mirrors are all supposed to be like, ha ha, funny. And I'm like, ha ha ha, you're the ugliest thing God has ever placed on this planet Earth. And up pops up, from the back of my head, the little toxic chauvinist white man in my brain, the devil that we all have inside of our brains because we live in a society that is patriarchal and white supremacist. So you don't get to run away from it. He lives in you. That devil. Where do you think the word decolonize comes from? Just because your shitty parents whose voice talked to you, if it was just your shitty parents whose voice talked to you in your head, then it wouldn't be called decolonize. It would be called, fuck you, mom and dad, I want to be an actor. No, it's because we all have an extremely tiny, yet obnoxiously loud Joe Rogan inside of our brains, who tells us shit like, you know, late stage capitalism is actually kind of cool. Or shit like, of course women don't go into STEM. Their poor little housewife brains aren't biologically good at it. Maybe that's why there's so many trans women in IT. Do we have a biological advantage in computer science and sports? I don't know, Joe Rogan thinks so. So the fucking red pill-sized Jordan Peterson in my head looks at my funhouse reflection with me and goes, you know what I see? He gets comfy like a bisexual. He's like, here, like, you know what I see? I see a fucking waste of human space. Look at your broad-ass shoulders. Of course they call the cops on you when you enter the women's bathroom. Not a single person is convinced that you belong. Maybe if you lost some weight, or you did some voice training to sound like a real woman, maybe you could blend in better then. You know, do you really identify as a bi-gender girl, boy, X-man? Or do you only say that because you know deep down you'll never be seen as a real woman, so you have to pretend to like your masculine side? Jordan, what the fuck, man? I thought you were a mental health advocate. God, it's not brutally honest, it's just brutal. People say they see me as an inspiration, right? Someone able to get up on a stage and be vulnerable in front of a crowd. They're like, look at you. You've come out as your transgender true self. You've survived homelessness. You make 6 figures and you wear Louis Vuitton, like this fucking purse here, right? And all of that's true. It's real. But they don't know that I also miss praying in a masjid without having security called on me to escort me off the premises. They don't know that it's hard work to love and be grateful for this brown, obese, transgender body that I live in. They don't know that Louis Vuitton is fake. Until I tell them it's a Chinese knockoff and I got it for $10. Because I'm Midwestern and Asian, and who does not love a bargain? I'm too much. And I love that people see that in me and they feel inspired to explore their own identities because of it. But I'm too much, and because of it, I'm so exhausted. Sometimes I don't remember why I'm here on this planet Earth. Like, what's my purpose here? I'm so tired and exhausted. I just started listening to that Tucker Carlson in my head, the Barbie-sized one, saying, "You'll never be a real woman. You'll never be successful. You are not enough." And as I succumb to his lies, one by one, I see his grin, his evil grin, just getting wider and wider like a Cheshire cat. Until finally I'm in a space so dark, that grin opens wide and lets out an anime villain laugh like, "Wah!" Sorry, I practiced that too much to not let it go to waste. I'm sorry. Julia sees me frozen, right? Just staring at this funhouse mirror reflection. And she instantly knows what's going on. You know, the body image girlies, they get it, right? And she's like, "Love, do you need the rest of my anxiety burger?" And I'm like, "No, I just need to feel pretty and loved." And then she takes my face, just like, makes it so that I'm staring into her eyes by force, and then gives me a big ass bear hug and lots of head pats and kisses. She's the best, she really is. She's a baby. Her love reminds me why I stick around, right? It's not just for her, it's for everyone I care about. It's for all of you who showed up tonight, right? It's for every other trans, brown, queer kid, for Gen Z and for Gen Alpha coming up who need that guidance. They're gonna free Palestine, right? They're gonna reverse global boiling. They're gonna fucking behead Jeff Bezos, my father. And that is okay. I am proud of them. And if they see me fully loving my body and wearing these cat ears without shame, and they see my dead grandpa cheering from the grave, supporting me, just imagine what kind of stereotypes, what kind of stigmas and generational curses that they can break. Maybe I can give a 5-year-old my Pokemon cards, so 10 years later, he's confident enough to introduce his actual transgender lover, not me, you freaks, to his father, instead of hiding in shame around it. Maybe one of you will go home and realize that your inner Andrew Tate, he's just a regular miniature-sized guy, someone who overcompensates for his shame around being attracted to trans women by being toxic. Yeah, I'll admit it. My inner Caucasian conservative is why my type has always been skinny white transgender women. And maybe all of these people who are in my life and who are yet to come, maybe you all are the reason I stick around. So this sets my love letter to all of you, to everyone who I share community with. Everyone who makes this exhausting Minnesota fucking state fair ski lift ride that we call life, make it worth living. Oh my God. Thank you tonight. Thank you everyone. Daniel, get up here and save me.
I have good news and bad news. Can you hear me okay? The good news is, fucking killed it. Can we give another round for it? The bad news is, I don't think we have time for Q&A.
What?
10 minutes?
Okay.
Okay. So this is supposed to be audience Q&A, but I have something to say. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What the hell with that guy and what happened after?
With Kevin?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh my God. Ugh. Kevin was just so terrible. I went off on him over text. I was like, how dare you claim that your boundaries were crossed when it's your fucking bad parenting that led to this situation? And I just blocked him immediately. And then the next day he followed me on Instagram.
Of course. Show up in your DMs later. I also think it's fake. So Kevin, I'm guessing, pseudonym, right?
Yeah, that's not his real name.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious because I just finished one of my manuscripts and I talk about one of my exes. I also gave him a pseudonym, also Kevin. Why all our anonymous exes gotta be Kevin? I don't know. I think like if we have a joint Netflix special, maybe it can be called All the Kevins.
All of the Kevins.
All of the Kevins. Cancel all the Kevins. Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience?
This
I
is
know you-
mostly all like personal shits, and I'm like an open book, y'all. Yeah. Shoot.
Where do you get your fake Louis Vuitton?
This is from China, and it is from pandabuy.com is the agent. So there's a whole process you have to go. You have to find the sellers, and then you have to message them on WhatsApp and be like, I want this specific thing from your catalog. And they said, okay, great, that'll be $50 or whatever, $10. And then they have to ship it to you. But customs doesn't let that shit go. So you need to now find another person, an agent, who will take this fake shit from the seller and make it through customs and smuggle it here for you. And that is why I got banned from Discord.
I thought Discord was supposed to be encrypted.
No, they were like, this server you're part of has violated our community guidelines. They didn't say anything about Louis Vuitton in the guidelines, so I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm gonna clip this part of the thing before I upload this to YouTube. Oh. Do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions? Did y'all think it was worth it?
Yes.
What did your grandfather say about Julia?
About Julia. He loved her so much. And the very first time they met over Zoom, because it was all during COVID, she happened to be wearing a hijab because we just finished praying. And my grandpa and my grandma were both there, and they were like, oh, look at this beautiful young Muslim woman for you. She will convert you back to being a straight man. Please go and marry her. They did not know she was transgender at all. And that took months before my mother told them. And then you could see my grandma, she had already liked Julia so much, she couldn't bring herself to hate her. And so she's just like, I don't think you should marry her, but maybe you could be friends still. Maybe you could be roommates. I don't know. But Grandpa was all for it. Grandpa was like, he said it in Bangla, but he was like, yeah, you two go get married. He actually did want to attend the wedding, and what happened was that my family ended up not teaching him how to join a Zoom room. So he missed the wedding because my family essentially blocked him from attending. Which I hope they regret that now that he's dead. But yeah. He still definitely supported it and told me afterwards, like, I wanted to be there, and I supported it, so yeah. He's an OG,
Any other questions? Somebody's gonna call. Give me that phone.
I think that's my phone.
Oh, it's your phone?
The one that's recording us.
Yeah, question?
Okay, Ameera, when have I ever eaten McDonald's?
You will not stand for this slander.
I will not stand for it! I have McDonald's trauma. That's not my comfort food.
It was whatever state fair food they had that also offered an anxiety meal in addition to their happy meal, so that's what.
Anxiety bucket of cookies.
Yeah.
I think it was like that tandoori taco thing. Like, it was like non-taco.
Honestly, I appreciate the Minnesotan effort at making good people of color food, right? They really try, and like I see that effort and I acknowledge it. Even if it's not really all the way there, right? Like I was telling, like, you offered me a scent while we were in the green room, And I was like, I know just from this font that this is gentrified white people shit. It still smells good, I'll still wear it. But I know you overpaid for this by like 8 times.
It was a gift, the gift.
Okay.
A gift from another Asian friend. So I think it's like, this is like what Patty says, right? It's like, how are you gonna take my culture of scents and then upcharge me $20 to buy like my people's scents? But yeah, but it was in a cute box, so I guess I'll pay more for this white packaging.
Is it just me, or do more people like just keep their boxes that are like really cute? Like you get an iPhone box and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so beautifully made. Let me just put it up here with all the other iPhone boxes that I have.
Yep.
You're right, 10 years later I'm trying to get something down from the closet and I just drown in iPhone boxes.
What are you gonna do with that box? It's recyclable. I'm just like, am I gonna re-gift? Is it like, okay, it's your birthday, I'll bring you macarons in an iPhone box? Like, what am I gonna do with them?
They're really well-made boxes, so it's probably better than what I would normally use. Here's a macaron on a paper plate. Like, or you can have a macaron on an iPhone box. These things are both expensive.
I feel like that's a step down from fake Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I tried to make macarons once, and I got like one good. There's like a sea of like half deflated macarons, and one looked good. So that's the one that you put on Insta, right? You get the good picture of like, the one good macaron. It was great.
On a plate all by itself to make it look tasteful.
But you put it like at an angle so you can still see the other ones, so it looks like I made so many good.
And then you blur the background. Ah, that's
See,
how
this
they
is
get
why
you.
I should work in marketing. Not like nonprofits. I would make so much money. I could buy a real Louis Vuitton if I worked in marketing.
I would not.
No.
I make 6 figures and I do not buy Louis Vuitton. For real.
I carry
Which
myself
I'm
around in a
grateful
child's
for that.
backpack.
God.
Any other questions?
I was going somewhere with that. It's okay.
When
Yes.
are y'all next performing?
Who the fuck knows?
Book us for your shows.
Yeah, I want to perform more.
Mhm.
I know you do, but you have a fucking child. Yeah.
So,
You got 2 child and a husband.
yep. A secret boyfriend.
A secret boyfriend.
Somebody's gonna like, I'm gonna get in a car accident or something. He's like, we need to call this woman's husband. Mom, sister, secret boyfriend. We don't know what to do. That's okay. I've got my secret boyfriend marked as my ICE. That's good.
That's great. I have
Safety first, right?
Okay, where's Adrita and Sai? Can I pick on y'all for a little bit? Can I? Do I have consent?
Sure.
Okay.
That's an Asian no right there.
That was like, I want a hell yeah or a no, right? That's how consent works.
Get the Minnesota. No, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Do you want to have sex tonight? Yeah, no. Do you want to try using protection? No, yeah.
Anything else you would like to say before we sign off?
Do the fake lip lock.
Again? You liked it? Yeah. Okay, good. It's weird because like I'm in a cheap out, right? So like I love these dresses because it feels like the perfect blend for me of femininity, of like elegant femininity, and also this collar makes it feel like handsome as well, right? That's what I think of it. So I'm like a handsome girl, and I like that. That's why I'm weird about, that's why I like sounding like a fucking, you know, I don't know, like if, no, I'm not gonna try that. I'm not gonna try that. But yeah. Oh right, you wanted to laugh. Does it give you the gender euphoria that you want, trans girls? To hear that low ass evil voice? Jeff Bezos will be so proud.
Well, that's it.
Also, explain this
Oh.
outfit to me. This is cute as hell, y'all.
Yeah.
What the heck?
This is my grandmother's smoking jacket. My grandfather made this. He was a tailor. So both my parents are immigrants. My mother's Polish, my dad's Sri Lankan. So I'm a mix of all different things. But they smuggled it out of Poland when they left in the war, and he made this for her. It's a smoking jacket. I don't smoke, but yeah.
Was it illegal to make these?
Yes, it was actually, and that's part of why they had to leave Poland.
What?
Why?
Yeah, he was, we're gonna click this from, he was, so after the war, when they went back to, they fled to Russia, from the persecution. They came back eventually to Poland, and he got a job as a tailor. That's what he did. He worked at a factory, and under communism, they had quotas for how much they could make. And then he would take the scraps that were left, and he would make other coats. He would make shirts and jackets and things like that with the scraps of fabric, so that they could buy eggs and chicken or things like that. But that was illegal, and so there's two different sides of the story. There's always two sides, right? There's like my mom's side and why they had to leave Poland. And there's my uncle's side, and it was like 2 men in black coats came and said, "You have to leave Poland in less than a month." So then they applied for refugee status and they came to the States. But yeah, so this is my grandmother's smoking jacket, and it's a story of resilience, I think, but it's also a story of like a little bit extra.
Smoking
Like we
jacket?
can be poor as
Is
shit
that
and
what
still
you
be
said?
extra.
You say smoking jacket.
Yeah, because that was the time they would like, this is like a pocket. See, and it's like a woman's coat with a pocket. That's what I'm talking about. We need to have, thank you. So yeah, for cigarettes and for a lighter. And I remember, I don't have a lot of memories of her from when I was younger. She was pretty young. But I do remember her smoking all the time, and she'd always have cigarettes in this coat. This is
Is
her
that
coat.
the only reason women stopped having pockets?
The patriarchy.
Because we stopped smoking?
No, I don't know. I mean, he made this for her, so he made the pocket. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for asking. I love this
Mhm.
coat. It's very special.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Thanks. Any other questions in the crowd? We should probably wrap up this
Oh,
festival.
yeah,
and
yeah,
these folks
yeah.
go home. Can we give another round of applause to Melissa in the booth? Thank you so much. Round of applause for folks from Fearless. Thank you so much for having us. This has been an amazing night, an incredible experience.
I'm grateful for all of you, and I will not drag this out. Go home. Eat something good. Don't need an anxiety meal.
Final round of applause. We want to thank everyone for coming. We still have one more day of our comedy festival. If you want to come back tomorrow, you're more than welcome. And if you're feeling like donating some money, we will take it. Drive safe, and thanks again for coming.